I'm Bridget Bartlett with the Builderall team. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the Cheetah mobile editor inside the Cheetah website builder. To do that, let's go ahead and enter the Cheetah website builder, and let's create a new site. Let's choose Simple Templates, and let's actually create a blank template. To edit the home page, let's go ahead and click Edit Page. And you see our website starts with a panel, a box, and then a text element on the panel. Let's go ahead and expand the panel. Let's add an additional panel. We'll just add a blank panel as well. And let's go ahead and get rid of this text because I want to add some different text here. And let's just get rid of this box as well. So now we have a clean working space. I'm going to just expand this panel here. And let's click Add. And you see we can add panels or elements. Since we already have two panels, let's go ahead and start adding some elements. Let's start with some text. We have an H1 title. We'll go ahead and add here. And this is a global element, which means if you want to edit this element here, you need to go to the global font section, and then you can edit the size and color and font here. But if you want to have a text that is not a global element, what you need to do is we can actually just duplicate. Let's click here to edit out of that menu. And let's just go ahead and double click in the box. Let's highlight this text. And you see here it says heading 1. Let's go scroll down until you see neutral heading. And now you see our text has changed. We can choose the font that we want to use for this text here. We can actually choose the size. So let's just make this 30. And you can make it bold, italicized, or any of these options here. Let's go ahead and make it a different color so it's easily recognizable. So now we have our global H1, and let's actually just change this to global. That way we can keep track. And let's change this to neutral. Let's go back to Add, Elements. Let's return. And the next element that we're going to add is going to be a box. So let's go ahead and select that. And let's select our box and drag it down to our panel. And let's go ahead and add some text on our box. We'll just add a global font here. We'll just add some more text. And let's go back. And now this time, let's add a button. So let's click here. And let's just drag a button to the box. And then let's add some more buttons. So we'll just add a button here, and a button here, and a button here. So let's line this box up here. Let's just say we want it in the middle. We can do that by clicking here to center. And then let's actually just center our buttons here. Let's go back to the elements. And let's add an image. So we'll click here. And you see you have 4 options. Let's go ahead and choose the horizontal image here. And we can move our text over to the side. So we'll just add our image here and line this up. Let's go back to Add, Elements. And there are many elements to choose from, but I wanted to add these elements because these are going to be the basic elements that you are going to use when editing your website on the mobile view. So let's go ahead and click here to access the mobile view of our website. So you see, when we're on the mobile view, if you hover over the first panel, you see the line appears here on the left-hand side. That will allow you to select the panel if you want to edit the whole panel. And you see, as we scroll down here, we have our second panel. So there are only 2 panels on this website. On the first panel, if you click here, we have the option to arrange the elements on the mobile view. So if I wanted the global H1 heading to be above the image, you see how I hover over the text and it selects the heading here. But if I hover over the neutral text, it selects the neutral text above. So let's actually just drag the global text above the image, and to complete our move, all we need to do is click the move button here. Now you see it has moved the global H1 text above the image. Now the neutral text here, you see that it really needs some more space at the bottom. There's not enough space. So let's go ahead and click here to edit the element. And if you go to advanced, you see now we have some lateral spacing. If you want to adjust the left and right spacing here, you can just move this left and right. You can also add space at the top and space at the bottom. If you want to make this image smaller, you can left click on the image. You can also adjust the lateral spacing for the image as well. You can add space at the top and space at the bottom. For the text elements, since this is a global element, if you click here, you cannot adjust the size. You can only make it left, center, right, or justified. But if you notice on the neutral text, you have the ability to adjust the mobile size of the font here. You can also choose to align it to the left, center, right, or justified. Moving on to the second panel. Again, if you click Edit Element, you have all of these same options here. You can choose to reorder the elements in the panel. So you see if you highlight all of the different buttons. But you see, as we get to the top, this is the box. So you can only rearrange inside the box. So we could only move this box to the bottom of the buttons. If we click Move, you see that the entire box moves. But if you want to rearrange the elements inside the box, you can click here to select the box, click here to edit element, and you see that we do not have that option to reorder the elements. However, if you click on the specific element, you can use the arrows here to move the elements up or down. Inside the button, if you click here to edit the button, you can change the size of the headline here by going to the mobile font size and selecting that here. And you have all of the same options that you do on the desktop view. If you want to add more space above or below the button, you can click Advanced and access the lateral spacing. So you can adjust the size on the left and right, and you can also adjust the size of space on the top and bottom. If you want to make sure that all of these buttons are the same size, all you need to do is determine the size that you want on each side, and then you can go to the next button and then change the spacing to make sure that they are all the same size. Now, what if we wanted these 3 buttons? So let's actually go ahead and do that. We'll go to the next button. We'll change this to 24. And now all of these buttons are the same size. But what if we wanted these buttons to be side by side instead of on top of one another? We can actually click in the panel here and go to Edit Element. And you see that we have the option here to adjust the mobile columns. So if you click this button and then toggle this on, you see now we have changed this to be 2 columns on this panel. You can actually change this to 3 as well. And now we have 3 columns on this panel. If we wanted this to be lined up correctly, we could just go back and adjust the lateral spacing and reduce the space on the top. And now our buttons are lined up correctly with one another. If I decided I wanted to use the neutral H1 heading on the mobile, but I wanted to keep the global version on the desktop, all I would need to do is move this up where I want it to be on the mobile version, and I would simply just need to hide the global H1 heading here. So in this video, I've given you an overview of the Cheetah website editor. Again, my name's Bridget Bartlett. Now go build it with Builderall.